All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am here with Elzie D. Flenard the third, and we're talking about podcasting today. Yay, go figure. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Elzie, are you gonna crush it today? Come on, bring me something. Bring me something good.
I don't know. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. I don't know. I don't know about crushing it. I'll share what I know, and that might be just a little, but I'll do my best.
Well, we're gonna say yes. You're gonna do it. Well, how about that? We're gonna say yes on this episode of the Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are back on the virtual stage. It's the Authority Project. You're the project, and we want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And we are here with Elzie D. Flenard III, and we're talking about amplifying your brand with podcasting today. And I'm excited because this is something that I am, how you say it? I toot my own horn that way. I promote it that way. I have programs that way. So we're excited to have him on here. So he's just going to confirm, right, what I already know. Hopefully. Yeah, I know how to do it. So, hey, Elzie, how are you doing, first of all? How's it going today?
It's going pretty good. I'm relatively busy for a Friday, but all good stuff.
Great. I'm here in Boston. We got snow today.
Oh, dude, leave that snow over on your end. Don't bring it to us.
It's coming your way. You already know it's coming your way. You already know. So I probably more so on your end. But hey, before we get started, we're having some fun here. It's Friday, casual Friday. You know how it goes. So tell us, first of all, before we get started, who you are personally and then professionally.
Yeah, personally, I'm just a normal guy, father, husband, entrepreneur. I love what I do, so that is my fun. And I'm just a laid back guy who likes to meet fabulous folks like yourself and share and exchange notes with brilliant people.
Awesome. I love it. So tell us what your current project that you're working on now. What is your current project?
Yeah, so my heart and soul right now is Podcasttown, and Podcasttown is an agency that is very similar to a digital agency, but our focus is helping people grow their business through podcasting, and it's a ton of fun. We have a community as well where I'm on a weekly basis meeting with podcasters and again exchanging notes and war stories. So it's all fun, man. I literally eat, breathe, and sleep podcasts. So it's pretty cool.
Love it. We definitely have that in common, for sure. For sure. I have students that are in that boat too. So it's fun though. So I don't want everybody before we get started. I don't want you to leave before we get started. It's leave. It's all day, but it's fun. So tell us. This is one of my newest questions I'm putting on the show. What is your daily routine?
Daily routine. That's a great question. Basically, the first thing that I do when I wake up is spend some time in prayer and really connecting with my Creator and praying and making sure that I'm centered. And I'm getting better at this next part, but getting some kind of physical exercise, taking care of my body. And then after that, I typically get right to work. I'm checking emails, making sure that I'm on the right track. There are no fires that need to be put out from the night before. And really just going about my day from that point.
Awesome.
Some people will segregate their time and do certain things at certain times. But I found for me, I'm more of a, I don't know if this is ADD, but I jump from thing to thing. So I have to be on a sales call and then I'm doing an operational procedure the next minute. But that's kind of how my mind works. So
I am exactly the same way. It's a blessing and a curse. Like I kind of kid myself by saying that my middle name is random, because I'll be like, yeah. Oh, I need to do that. Yep, you're right. Yep. Let me just real quick. So yeah, I'm just like that. So I like that. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yes,
so.
You're not alone.
So tell us about your journey. What brought you to this place? Getting to this point where you're really in tune to podcasting. What took you to this place?
Yeah, the short version of the story is
sure.
I'm a musician. I've been a singer-songwriter since I was a little boy. And so storytelling is a part of literally of my DNA. It's kind of who I am.
Okay.
And I was thinking about one evening drawing on my whiteboard, what can I do to tell more stories, to tell better stories? Yeah. And I came across the idea of launching an internet radio station because at the time I wanted to learn more about business. I wanted to talk with business leaders. And I figured a radio station would be a great way to do that. And so I would start this show as a radio station / podcast. And I would ask these questions and I would just absorb all of the knowledge that I would get from these people.
Right.
And I ran across a podcast. And Brian, when I tell you it was love at first listen, I mean, I'm like, what is this? You mean to tell me I can listen to what I want to listen to, when I want to listen to it, and how I want to listen to it? Yeah. I was in love. And so I shut down the internet radio station and focused on my podcast. And then what happened is I would have these guests on. And they would tell me all of the challenges and obstacles for them to create their own podcast. Okay. And so I eventually started to do that for them. And then over the years, they would bring other objections, and I just implemented those into my business. And that's how we came to be a full service agency.
Awesome. Well, it's so funny that I don't know, you and I must be very much aligned, because I'm a singer songwriter too. You know, it's just like when you said that, I was like, oh my God, okay. Oh my Lord. This is crazy. So see, this is live. This is live, people. We connect with people and just like wow, okay, yeah. You know, we're here. We're here right now. So let's dive in. How or why should we amplify our brand through podcasting, or both?
Yeah. I think podcasting is unique in a couple of ways, but the main way is it's a passive medium. Meaning, if you look at radio is more of a blast, right? You want to hit as many ears as humanly possible. You're going to get all the commercials and all the fluff and all the stuff. What a podcast is uniquely good at is breaking down and getting behind that frontal lobe. Not to get too sciencey, but you're engaging in a place in somebody's mind that is sacred, for the lack of a better term. And so the connection that you make when you're listening to a host that you trust is extremely powerful. And that's the reason why podcasting it really solidifies your place as an authority, especially once you've gained the trust of the listener.
Oh, I love that. See, he put in that authority in there. See, I love it. So why do podcasting, this is just a question that just popped up in my mind. Why do podcasting as opposed to something else?
Right. So think about reading a newspaper, right? In order to read a newspaper, you have to be reading a newspaper. You have to be sitting down. Really hard to do that running or walking or doing anything else. That's the only thing that you can do. Same thing with video. You can't drive when you're watching a video, or you shouldn't. You can't really walk, or you shouldn't. You have to kind of be focused on watching the video. when you're listening to a podcast, like for example, when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm typically either washing dishes or mowing the lawn, or I'm typically doing something else while I'm listening or working, right? But I can still retain the information because the podcasting is a passive medium. So podcasting, because it again is passive, you can listen while you're doing something else and still retain the information.
Love it. Love it. So it's very nice, very nice, podcasting, da, 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 da. But what do you say to the people who are afraid to do this? They don't, maybe some people, are like I like doing the video podcasting. Maybe some people are afraid of doing the video part. Maybe some people are just afraid of being, they're having their voice on the audio. They don't want to hear their own voice. What do you say to people like that who want to start, but they're kind of afraid of what people might say or think about about their content?
Yeah, I'm that way about video, right? I'm an audio guy, right? You tell me to sing a song in front of 1,000 people, and I'm like, all right, that's easy, right? Do a speech in front of 10,000, okay. Sing the national anthem, all right, no problem. Right. Go on video, and it's a totally different ballgame, right? Because it's different. I think the main thing to always remember, and this applies no matter what you're doing, is fear is healthy, right? But it's not the end of the world if somebody has a negative comment or they don't quite get the message you're delivering. It's iterative. So the more reps you can get, so like lifting weights, the stronger you get at presentation, the stronger you get at communication, the stronger you get at really driving home your point and what you're saying. So you're going to suck at first. I mean, that's just the nature of any animal, right? You do your first podcast. It's probably going to suck. It's not going to be as good as it's going to be. Yeah. So really you have to go into it with that mindset and knowing that you're going to be bad at first, but you'll get better as time goes.
And great. I love how you said that. It's great stuff what you just said. I think that fear is like the beginnings of something the fear is the beginning of something great. So if you're afraid of something, that means you're on to something. I hope people understand that. Just like, because if you're comfortable all the time, you can't be doing much. I mean, you're in easy town all the time. That's not a life worth living. So if you're afraid of something, that means something great is going to happen. I hope people will understand that part of it. And I think that when you start podcasting or getting onto the camera, I probably kind of fooled you because I'm not sure if you knew this was live.
well, Brian, I've been at this long enough. I roll with the punches.
There you go. So it's you get used to it. I tell people all the time, like when I started live streaming, like when I first got on there, I thought like I can just turn around the camera and people wouldn't have to see me, but I can still show people, parts of Boston. It's to be great. You're doing that. And then I was like, people were like, turn the camera around. I was like, what? What are you talking about? People want to see you. Okay. People want to see you. People want to hear you. Just like you want to see other people. You want to hear people's stories. People are the same way with you. So I think this is a great way. Podcasting is a great way to get that done. So my next question to you is, we're both aligned. People hearing this like, well, we love podcasting, but what about all the hard work, Elzie? What about that? I mean, isn't this hard work? Why go through all the trouble?
It is. Anything that you do well is going to be hard. But I always recommend that people get help, whether that's an internal resource or somebody that's shameless plug from Podcasttown that can help you with all the details and the hard stuff so that you can focus on running your business.
Awesome. Let's see here. Yeah. So I want to bring these elements onto the table. So what about the cost of hosting? equipment, promotion, getting guests, or if you're doing it solo, getting enough content to appease your audience? What do you say to all of those things that people need for podcasting?
I think part of the strategy has to be really understanding what your audience wants, right? Is that an interview show? Yeah. Is that your brand sponsoring a show? Does that look like you just placing ads on a show? So part of my work as the producer is to help people find their place in the medium, because not everybody should be a host. Not everybody should run advertising. I think it's about understanding where you fit in podcasting and just doubling down on that.
Awesome. So do you think there are areas, is that right? Areas of where you could just be behind the scenes, where you can be a producer as opposed to being a host, and maybe producing other people's content and having somebody else be a way to work it
out? I think so. I think it really just depends on you finding your place. If you as a brand, you really, really don't want to be out front on voice, on camera, then it might make sense. Yeah. But I mean, you can't escape the work part. That's going to be part of it, regardless of which lane you take.
Right. Okay. So this question is like any website out there, you can just throw up a website and then nothing happens. The same can be probably said if you're starting a podcast, because there are thousands of podcasts out there. How does one begin to, stand out amongst the crowd? Because it's a big crowd out there.
Yes, and it's getting bigger. But thankfully, not as crowded as, say, blogging, right? It's almost a 400 to 1 difference in terms of how many people have blogs to how many people have podcasts. But as we grow as a medium, it's going to be increasingly a question that people have to ask. I think the main thing is being creative, understanding your unique perspective, your unique delivery, and your unique network. I liken it to I went to college for electronics, so I graduate, and with the hopes and dreams that I'm going to land a job.
Yeah.
Well, about 340.
Oh, I think we lost. Did we lost Elzie? Hopefully he comes back in. Now this is a surprise. Okay, here we got him. Okay.
Oh, I think
okay. I'm not sure what happened there, but go right ahead. Continue where you were.
So I'm saying, so when I graduated college, there were also, and I don't know the exact number, but I'm just making this up for effect, but about 200 to 100,000 other people also graduated with the same exact degree that I had, right? And so how would you reasonably expect to land a job when that many other people have the same degree that you have? Well, your unique location, your unique perspective, what you bring to the table as an individual, how you deliver information, all of those things make me unique. So even though there's over 1 million podcasts now, nobody's going to ask the question like Elzie's going to ask the question. Nobody has the perspective that I have. Nobody's going to deliver it the way I am, and nobody's going to promote it, and they don't have my network. So I think it's important to understand that all of those things, right? And making sure that you're really focused and intentional about your content, the quality of your content, your target listener, and just being strategic about it. Those things will help you stand out.
So give us some how-to. If somebody's just starting out, how should they start? I mean, I know from some of my former students, like one of the biggest things, which was kind of hard, one of the biggest things is that they got stuck on the title of their podcast. I'm not sure if you got into that same kind of problem, but talk about like how people should start and what they should be thinking about once they start a podcast.
Yeah, I think the bigger concerns should be, again, quality. Who are we targeting? And then kind of work your way backwards, right? Because your title should attract the listeners that you're trying to attract. Have a plan. I would treat it like a business. You don't have to do a 55-page business plan, but they have these one-page business plans that you can do. I would apply that to your podcast. Who are our centers of influence? Who are the power partners? And have all that stuff nailed down before you even name it. Again, because your target's going to inform all of those decisions. Yeah. So again, I would start from there. Treat it like a business, even if it's a hobby, because one day you might want to turn it into a business, and you will have already done all that work. Right. So that's what I would say. Treat it like a business. Get started right. It doesn't take a ton of investment. There's a $70-$80 microphone that you can plug into your laptop and to get started. But spend the time really thinking through your listeners, how you're going to grow, what resources you need, that type of thing.
Awesome. So I got a couple more questions for you, and I'm going to tie into what you were just saying about a business, treating it like a business. So we know most businesses fail within 5 years or less, I guess. Maybe it might be shorter now. But what do you say to people who are starting out and they flatten out, or how long should people expect to get some real traction? Because I think people will start off and like, this isn't working out. I'm like, this nobody's really listening to me. I don't know. This sucks. This isn't working for me. But tell the people how long they should expect to, really start seeing some traction, people, getting some recognition and so forth, so they can truly amplify their brand through podcasting. Yeah,
I'll use the famous salesman's quote. It depends, right? if you already have an audience, then that time is going to be shorter. If you're starting from zero, it's going to take longer. And then it also depends on how well planned you are. If you buy a microphone from Amazon, plug it into your laptop, and just start talking stream of consciousness, that's going to take you longer to build your listenership than if you've spent the time ahead of time and you've done all the things we just talked about. Then your time to grow is going to be shorter. It also depends on the specific genre, right? If it's a business talk show, which is relatively crowded, it might take longer because you're going to have to establish yourself as an expert or an authority. You're going to have to carve out your specific, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But if it's a podcast that no one's ever heard about, it might explode overnight. So it really just depends.
Yeah. But aren't all the categories kind of crowded right now? Let's think about it.
Yeah, but there are some that are not as crowded as, say, business,
I'll say it. Yeah,
right. Everybody has a business podcast, which is fine because realistically, you don't need 10,000 downloads an episode to move the needle as a business podcast, right? So again, it all goes back to why are you doing the podcast in the first place, and what does success look like? If success looks like Joe Rogan numbers, most people won't do that. Right. Just it's a law of numbers. But if you say, okay, well, if I can get 150 people in the room every time I speak, how much is that worth? What do I say to them? What actions do I want them to take? I think, again, mindset really helps you understand what success looks like.
Okay. So I have this last question then, which is going to tie into what you just said. So I want you to dive deeper into that. So people are hearing you now. They are very interested in doing a podcast. They want to go through the same journey as you are. Similar interests. They want to amplify their brand. They want a platform just like this to really, really boost their authority and have more recognition in their business. So they want to do what you're doing, Elzie. So can you give them just some like a what do you some real talk about how to be an authority in this space.
Yeah, I mean, this may not come across as fancy advice, but honestly, you have to have a passion for what you're doing. You know, I can't be a podcast producer if I don't absolutely enjoy podcasts. Yeah. So I think the number one thing is having a passion for what you do. And along with that passion, putting in the work. You know, there are no shortcuts. You have to wake up every single day. You have to go to practice, you know, using a basketball analogy. You have to learn the plays, and you have to do the little things. And you have to do the little things the right way consistently for a period of time, right? And that's the only way to gain authority in anything, you know, whether it's playing tennis or podcasting. You have to do the right things the right way constantly, over and over and over again. And that's how you become an authority.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. That's my final question, man. We kill hey, it's simple. You know what? It is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple.
Yes.
And I think that podcasting is a great medium to really get, you know, make yourself an authority. So I'm glad you're here. Please tell us about this podcasttown.net. What is let's get into that, man.
Yeah. Quite simply, we're an agency. We focus on podcasting to help people launch, grow, and maximize. Launch being helping folks, all the stuff we just mentioned, strategy, helping you understand the tech, making sure you understand your place in the space, and getting your podcast launched the right way. And growth is taking people who might already have a podcast, but they've plateaued and they're not growing. They want to increase numbers. They want to increase their, you know, influence, social reach, that type of thing. And then maximize, you're really just kind of putting fans on the flame and really blowing that brand out of the water.
I love it. We're going to talk afterwards then. Unbelievable stuff, man. Great stuff. Hey, everybody, if you need that help, get to this guy here. Get to this guy before I get to you. So, but get to this guy. He has a great site. Check him out there at podcasttown.net. I love the title. And also get a hold of me at theauthorityleader.com. We are about to, I got some videos going up. It's coming up this week about how to build it, share it, so they will come. You're gonna love these things. I'm telling you, they're great. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm doing it now. I don't usually do that, but they're coming. They're great. Or you can text us at We Are Live. Text We Are Live at 44222, and get on that. They're special. So that's all I got to say. Great stuff, Elzie. I'm so glad you were on the show. Great to end the week with you. Do you have any other final words you want to tell the people before they get out of here?
Yeah, not other than reach out. I love connecting with people and doing what I can to help them on their journey. So you can email me at mayor@podcasttown.net, or you can give me a call, 262-278-0535.
I forgot about that. Why do they call you the mayor? What is that about, man? I don't want to let that go. I'm not letting that go. Why? What is the mayor about?
Yeah, the mayor is really just a moniker that I earned, I suppose, from my colleagues and fellow business owners.
Okay.
They sat down one day and they said, you know what, Elzie, you know what you are? You're the mayor. That's who you are. You're the mayor of Podcast Town, and it kind of stuck.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Unbelievable. Hey, we're done. I appreciate it. I hope you guys got another, some more in-depth content and reasoning of really getting your platform done with podcasting. It's a great step. It's not as hard as it looks. All right. You'll enjoy it more than you think. So get a hold of Elzie, podcasttown.net, and check us out in the next episode. We'll see you on Monday. Appreciate you guys. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. And we are out for now.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.